Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. Buckle up, because today we're diving into some of the most electric, buzzworthy, and flat-out jaw-dropping rumors surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. From rising rookie impact potential, to a possible blockbuster trade involving a former All-Pro corner, to concerns about past first-round picks, and even new names to watch from the college ranks, everything is on the table right now as Dallas plots its way through the summer and inches closer to training camp. There's no time to waste, so let's jump right into the center of the storm brewing around the star in Frisco. First, let's talk about the name that's got defensive coaches quietly excited: Donovan Ezeiruaku. For those of you who haven't been following college ball too closely, Ezeiruaku is a dynamic, relentless edge rusher who made a name for himself at Boston College. The Cowboys, known for identifying under-the-radar talent, seem to believe they may have struck gold here. He's not being hyped in the same breath as Micah Parsons or DeMarcus Lawrence just yet, but those in the know are whispering that Ezeiruaku could have a real shot at carving out a role early in Dan Quinn's aggressive defense. While he may not be an instant starter, insiders suggest that his energy, motor, and tenacity in training sessions have not gone unnoticed. Scouts praised his burst off the line and his ability to generate pressure from multiple alignments. There's even talk that the Cowboys are looking at ways to deploy him in pass rush packages alongside Parsons, creating mismatches for offensive lines already struggling to handle the Cowboys' front seven. Of course, much of Ezeiruaku's future depends on how he performs when the pads come on, but early indicators suggest he could be the surprise of this rookie class. And for a team like the Cowboys, where edge depth and versatility are premium assets, Ezeiruaku's presence might allow the coaching staff to get even more creative. It's no secret that Dan Quinn loves movable pieces, guys who can line up in different spots and confuse opposing quarterbacks. If Donovan can show reliability in the run game and some pass rush pop, don't be surprised if he gets snaps in meaningful games this fall. Speaking of defense and headline names, let's get into the rumor that has Cowboys fans divided: the potential trade for Jalen Ramsey. Now, before we get too deep, let's clarify one thing: Jalen Ramsey is still recovering from a meniscus injury, and while he's expected to be ready early in the season, his health status isn't 100% guaranteed. However, that hasn't stopped Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office from sniffing around the situation. Word around the league is that the Miami Dolphins may be open to moving Ramsey if the right deal comes along, especially as they deal with salary cap complications and shifting roster priorities. The Cowboys, for their part, have been actively looking for elite-level veteran help in the secondary, especially as they try to close the Super Bowl window with their current core intact. If Ramsey becomes available, don't be shocked if Dallas makes a move. They've shown before with the Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore acquisitions that they're willing to add veteran pieces to win now. Ramsey, a native of Tennessee, would bring swagger, experience, and toughness to a unit that already features rising talents like Darren Bland and the still electric Trayvon Diggs. Imagine a secondary with Diggs, Bland, and Ramsey that's a nightmare trio for opposing quarterbacks. But there are questions. Would the Cowboys give up high draft capital for a corner coming off an injury and carrying a hefty contract? Could Ramsey's fiery personality mesh well in the Cowboys locker room, or would it disrupt the chemistry already in place? These are the questions Dallas leadership is likely debating behind closed doors. Still, sources say there have been internal discussions, and some even believe exploratory calls have been made. It's a long shot, sure, but if Ramsey becomes truly available, don't count the Cowboys out. While the Ramsey chatter ignites excitement, another name keeps resurfacing for very different reasons: Mazi Smith. The former first-round pick from Michigan has had an up-and-down journey since arriving in Dallas. Drafted to solidify the interior of the defensive line and improve the run defense, Smith's rookie season was, to put it kindly, underwhelming. He struggled with consistency, technique, and adapting to the NFL speed. But now, heading into his second season, there's growing concern about whether he'll live up to his potential or fall into the dreaded bust conversation. Coaches haven't given up on Smith by any means, but this offseason is crucial for him. Insiders say he's been putting in serious work in the weight room and in film study, trying to fix the issues that plagued him in his first year. The Cowboys need him to step up, especially after losing Jonathan Hankins and seeing inconsistent production from other interior guys. Mazi's unique blend of size, strength, and athleticism still gives hope that he can be a disruptor in the trenches, but it has to translate on the field. What's more troubling is that if Smith fails to develop this year, it could reflect poorly on Dallas' recent draft strategy. It's rare for the Cowboys to miss in the first round, especially on defense, so the pressure on Smith to rebound is immense. If he can come into training camp and show the gap-plugging, run-stuffing force he was at Michigan, all will be forgiven. But if he comes in slow, inconsistent, or fails to crack the starting rotation, the whispers will only get louder. There are even rumors the team has quietly explored veteran DT options in case Smith doesn't turn the corner quickly. It's not panic mode yet, but it's certainly a situation to watch closely. And now, let's pivot to a name that's lighting up the college scene and catching the Cowboys' attention early: Jaydon Blue. The running back from Texas has been on draft boards since his high school days, and with the Cowboys uncertain about their long-term running back plan, Blue could be a future target. Tony Pollard is gone, Rico Dowdle is still unproven as a full-time back, and while Ezekiel Elliott returned for a reunion, no one's under the illusion that he's the long-term solution. That's where Blue enters the conversation. Blue's blend of vision, explosiveness, and receiving ability out of the backfield make him a tantalizing prospect for teams looking to modernize their offense. He's been compared stylistically to Alvin Kamara and DeAndre Swift, backs who can run, catch, and create mismatches in space. For a team like the Cowboys, who want to keep the pressure off Dak Prescott and complement their downfield passing game with versatile weapons, Blue could be a dream fit. While it's far too early to project draft positions, sources say the Cowboys have already sent scouts to observe Blue, and if he performs well this fall, don't be surprised if he skyrockets up the team's draft board. Dallas has always had a soft spot for players from Texas, and Blue, with his Lone Star pedigree, could be another chapter in that tradition. What's even more intriguing is that Blue's rise could coincide with the Cowboys rethinking their offensive identity. Mike McCarthy has been very vocal about re-establishing the run game and physicality, especially after last season's playoff collapse where the offense looked stagnant. Blue's potential as a three-down back who can contribute from day one may make him a top target in 2026 if he declares early and fits the mold the Cowboys are leaning toward. And speaking of offensive identity, let's not forget the elephant in the room: the pressure on Dak Prescott. The Cowboys quarterback enters what could be his most important season yet, not just for his future with the team but for the entire trajectory of the franchise. If Dallas falters again, all bets are off. And how the defense, running game, and players like Mazi Smith and Donovan Ezeiruaku perform will all affect the kind of support Prescott gets. Bringing in a talent like Ramsey would certainly be a win-now signal. Adding Ezeiruaku to the rotation shows a commitment to youth and athleticism. And eyeing Jaydon Blue shows Dallas is planning for the future, even while trying to win today. All these threads are connected. Every rumor, every move, every whisper in the front office feeds into the larger narrative: can the Cowboys finally get over the hump and return to the Super Bowl? The front office knows the stakes. Jerry Jones, ever the risk-taker, is likely to greenlight a bold move if he believes it brings a championship within reach. And fans? Well, they've been patient long enough. Cowboys Nation deserves more than playoff appearances. They want rings, parades, and banners. So whether it's rolling the dice on Jalen Ramsey, betting on the upside of Donovan Ezeiruaku, demanding a breakout from Mazi Smith, or preparing to chase Jaydon Blue next spring, every decision matters. Training camp is just around the corner, and with it comes a flood of evaluations, practices, and preseason moments that will begin to shape all these narratives. Will Ezeiruaku flash enough to secure a role? Will Ramsey rumors heat up into a real trade conversation? Can Mazi Smith rise from potential bust to breakout contributor? And will Jaydon Blue continue to rise and capture Dallas' imagination? All eyes are on the Cowboys, and as always, everything they do becomes national news. We'll continue tracking all these stories and more as they develop, so if you love this kind of in-depth Cowboys news, rumors, and insider buzz, make sure to like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching, Cowboys fans. We'll catch you in the next one. Stay strong, stay loud, and always believe.